welcome back to the channel. Today I'm so excited to be talking about the top 5 reasons to move to Grapevine, Texas. As you know, it's one of my favorite cities here. And we actually have a bonus one that you should probably stick around for as well. I've got my co-host here, Matt. Matt, you want to say hi?
Hey guys, I'm Matt, and yeah, we're gonna talk about Grapevine today. So whether you are moving maybe from out of the area or out of state, and you've heard Grapevine a lot before, and you're wondering why so many people are moving to this area, we got you covered. We're gonna talk about all those reasons today.
I'm so excited. Let's dive into reason number 1.
And like Shelby said, stay tuned. At the end, we are going to show you another video where we talk about the cost of living in Grapevine. So you have some good expectations before you even move. So first, we just want to talk about what you feel, right, when you drive into downtown Grapevine. And I know that you kind of grew up close by, so why don't you walk us through that?
Yeah, I grew up in Grapevine. I feel so lucky that I grew up in Grapevine. It's come a long way since I grew up there. I remember back in the day, living in Grapevine felt like you were from the other side of the tracks because you had South Lake and Colleyville right there, and they were very well established, and the home prices, there was much more disparity at this point, but Grapevine has really built itself up, which is amazing. It's a small town feel. It truly is. If you're a Gilmore Girl fan out there, I'm sure there's other shows, but I'm a girl and I grew up, in the early 2000s. You have that feeling when you're walking downtown, but you still have the convenience of being right in the middle of the Metroplex. So you get that small town feel without neglecting maybe any of your needs. But especially like Main Street, it's walkable. You have wineries, you have cafes, you have an older hardware shop.
They've got events year round, a lot of live
Yes.
music. I think they hold one of the largest wine festivals, right?
They do.
To the Southwest, or maybe
Yeah.
even in
Get it,
Grapevine.
get it.
Exactly. So, and especially around the holidays.
Exactly.
Do you want to talk more about that? Because I haven't been yet, but
You
we
have
plan
not
on going
been.
this year
Oh my gosh, yes.
with my wife. But
Self-proclaimed Christmas capital. I think
is.
there's over 1,200 events during the holiday season, and I actually saw, this is the first time they've ever done it. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how I feel about it yet. We'll have to come back and talk about it. But they're shutting down Main Street on the weekends during the holiday season. So you will not be able to drive it. You can only walk it during the weekends, which will be a fun experience, right?
Yeah, see how that goes.
It's just, they accommodate community, really. They push you to
Just
really
engage, right?
come together, engage, slow down, and be present, which I think is beautiful in this time and age.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily the best at that, but I always enjoy going with my family. You did mention live music. There's a couple of small little bars on the Main Street area as well where you can hear that, but there's also a place called Hotel Vin that's relatively new, within the last 5 years. And they do a live stage almost every Saturday night during good weather season. So I think winter it goes away. But you've got all that, and Harvest Hall is right there, which is within Hotel Vin, and it's got tons of different little eateries. It's almost like a food truck park, but it's in a building. It's so much fun. So it's that small town feel. You get to know everybody. If you go consistent places, people have been running the same shops for years.
And you're still super close to the DFW Airport and downtown Dallas. So it's not like you are off in the country somewhere,
really aren't.
right? So I feel like you covered downtown really well. Do you want to talk a little bit more about outside of downtown? What is there to do outdoors? What kind of festivals do they have? I know there's even a lake there.
I would say that's trickling into reason number 2 to be in Grapevine, which would be Grapevine Lake. So Texas is not known for its many bodies of water, right? But we are lucky enough in Grapevine to have a great lake that you can go to. There's hiking trails. There are lots of activities where you can rent kayaks. You can even rent a boat. There's the Gaylord Texan, which is a huge resort right on the lake. There's a bar of some kind called Cactus something. You can look it up.
We'll find out. We'll put it in the description.
But you can go sit right on the water and whatnot. So it's just an awesome accommodation for those that are like, actually, I'd like to be active. Maybe I'm not a shopper.
So you don't even really have to drive super far away, right? I mean, because of the lake that's right there, you could be kayaking, boating, paddleboarding in the morning, afternoon, and then now you're hopping over to the downtown area just to get some food. And it's all within maybe 10 minutes from each other, which is a great part because normally, and if you're not from Texas, if I want to go do something outdoors, I might have to drive an hour or two, right? So that's great that you don't have have to make that big commitment.
And they have around the lake itself, we're really honing in on the lake right now, but even around that, they have awesome parks. They have soccer fields, volleyball, sand volleyball, baseball, tennis courts. Just, it really is a cool conglomeration of activity. Again, like you were saying, you can be on the lake in the morning, and then you can be anywhere else in town, frankly, or catching a flight out of DFW Airport. By the afternoon, it would be no issue.
Which I think is a good lead into number 3 is the proximity to the DFW Airport, which is why I think a lot of people love living in there, if you want to expand on that a little bit.
I actually, in this season of life, love living. I'm not in Grapevine right in the moment, but very close to the airport because my husband travels all the time. So if you're a Grapevine resident, the DFW Airport is literally within your city limits. Say max would be 20 if for some reason traffic is crazy. I would say average would be about 10 minutes. And DFW Airport is one of the busiest airports in the world, actually. It's a hub. You can get to most places within the United States for domestic travel within like 3 to 4 hours.
I don't know if you know this, but they're actually expanding the DFW Airport and adding an entirely new terminal. So I think right now there's only terminals A through E. And now they're adding a terminal F because it's so big and so many people are moving here that they needed to accommodate that many travelers.
Which I'm also excited about as somebody that frequents the airport almost 3 or 4 times a month.
Oh, wow.
They are updating the older terminals too. So it's fun. Every time I walk in there, I'm like, ooh, it's getting fancy up in here. Being so close to DFW, I think is just an awesome feature of being in Grapevine. Again, if it's personal travel, that's so fun, but especially when you are working, to not have that commute is fantastic. You can easily take an Uber, right? You don't have to park your car and you don't have to pay $100 to get to there.
Yeah, it's convenience is huge. And so we've talked about a lot of fun things, right? So travel, downtown, outdoor activity. Let's talk about another reason why a lot of people move here, and it's really important to families, which is they do have some top tier schools in not just the area, but all of Texas.
And I do want to mention before I dive into it a little bit here, we did do an entire YouTube video on GCISD, which is the school district. So if you want to do more of a deep dive than what we're doing right here, go ahead and check that out. We'll link it for you.
And GCISD, that's Grapevine-Colleyville Independent School District.
Yeah, and Colleyville is a neighboring city, is what I should say. And we've covered Colleyville as well, so you can take a look at that city. But GCISD is just very well-rounded. They offer lots of different things, great academics, but also great sports. I think you mentioned on our video, aren't they doing something with gaming too?
Yeah, they have really, I think as computer coding, computer science, all of that continues to grow. They even have like a really robust gaming program at their schools.
That's just mind-blowing to me. So GCISD really does draw in a lot of people. I think there's a 97 or 98% graduation rate, which is very high. Great ratings, and you're still going to get healthy competition, but I think this school district isn't necessarily, you've got to be top of your game, and every day you wake up stressed because you're going to an Ivy League. It's not that, but you're getting a very healthy education. You can knock on pretty much any probably college door you want to, depending on how you apply yourself. So.
And what's great about this is, and this actually benefits homebuyers without kids, is normally when you have a school like that with a very high graduation rate, with top tier programs, you're drawing in families who are not only purchasing in that area, but they're planning on being there maybe from elementary school all the way through high school. So they're maintaining their properties. Property values go up. So it's a great area to purchase in, whether you have a family or not, simply because of that reason.
Agreed. School districts always draw families. They always draw people. So resale, that was just saying, if that's important to you, I think Grapevine is an absolutely fantastic area. It has not only I think it's gone up 7.8% in value year over year.
Which is higher than the
It's
average.
higher than the average, for sure. But it's also holding value. So even this year, let's be honest, it's a bit more of a buyer's market right now.
They've either stayed steady or they've come down maybe 5 to 10%.
In the 5 to 10%. So Grapevine, I looked up statistically, it's about like 1% that they lost. So even that,
so much lower than the national average.
So much lower. They're still holding steady, which is just beautiful because I want you, when you get into a home, yes, the home is about creating memories. It's about building your future, but part of that is it's an asset, right? And so you don't want to be buying something that is in a volatile state and you're like, oh, I bought this high and then the market takes a turn and now I can't get out from under it. And that's just probably not the case in Grapevine, which is beautiful news to somebody that's buying a home.
Now, this next point may not be a huge selling point to everybody, but I think a lot of people will appreciate it. It's central location to both Dallas and Fort Worth, right? So not everybody loves to be downtown all the time. However, there's still events, sporting events, concerts. Yeah. So to be able to get to downtown Dallas and then maybe downtown Fort Worth, all within, depending on traffic, maybe 25 to 35 minutes, again, is a big draw because you still are close to a ton of amenities in downtown Fort Worth or Dallas, but with that small town feel and a lot of engaging community activities.
Which would make sense as to why they put the DFW Airport in that area as well, right? We're all thinking here, but I do love the access to both cities. I'm gonna admit, growing up, I didn't really venture out of Grapevine. And then I moved out of Texas for a few years, came back, and was back in Grapevine for a season and really took advantage of its central location and really found the pockets of Dallas or Fort Worth that I would enjoy. I would never probably want to live there because I don't, especially downtown. I've done that. I lived in LA for a short period of time, and I don't want to parallel park on a daily basis. I just don't. Yeah. But that's the beauty of Grapevine is you can escape back to your suburbia life, but you don't have to stress to get into the city and do all those fun things that the city allows.
Yeah, and I don't know if you'd agree with this, but something that I've noticed is, especially being in the middle and easy access to both, is I feel like you're either a Fort Worth person or 100%. A Dallas person.
100%.
And so having easy access to both without having to choose one or the other.
Yeah. Or you're like me and it's based on my mood. What do we want? Do we want Cowboys today or do we want bougie?
Yes.
But anyway, no, I think it's a great asset, even for commuting, right? Let's be honest, we're all not lucky enough to live in the city that we work in. Sometimes we're a little bit out of that, but maybe we don't want to live in the city for our family's sake or even just our own personality and what we desire. And so being in Grapevine or that area allows you easy access to both of those big metroplexes.
And I would say maybe a bonus reason, right, for moving here is I would say it's a very strong local job market. And so if you look at the unemployment rate, it's only 2.9%. So if you compare that with the U.S. as a whole, it's extremely low. And there are tons of data centers popping up in North Dallas. So still a pretty easy drive. Grapevine. Of course, you have jobs downtown Dallas. You have jobs closer to Fort Worth. So being in that central hub, being close to the airport provides a ton of job opportunities on top of all the other benefits that we talked about.
And going back to what I mentioned earlier about just the housing stability and affordability, Grapevine, you can still get into Grapevine, I would say 500 plus. The average, I think, is about $596 for a home right now. And so you can still afford it. You can still pay your bills, right? But you have that stability that you were just speaking to, Matt, of all the jobs. And even with, I'm just thinking as we were talking earlier, the DFW expansion, more and more jobs are coming, which is a beautiful thing. Housing turnover rate is not huge because people love being here. So you've got maintained properties, like you said. We're not really seeing, even in this down market, we're not really seeing them lose a lot of equity, which is amazing. And then you've got high appreciation. I'm going to correct myself. I think earlier I said 7.8. 7.4 is the true statistic. Okay. That is, I think, average.
It's 3 to 4% per year over a long period of time.
Which is just beautiful all around. Who doesn't want a stable job market and a house that you can afford that's not losing its equity? So anyway, Grapevine's the best.
There you have it. I mean, we got local downtown, community engagement, outdoor living, tons of job opportunities to choose from. And then on top of that, super important because you are putting a lot of money towards purchasing a house, right? You have a stable market and an appreciating value that we know is only going to continue to grow as the DFW Metroplex continues to expand.
So if you are ready to explore Grapevine at a deeper level, feel free to reach out. Matt and I are here to serve you. And we would love to hear from you and answer any questions that you might have. Thanks, guys.